What's up, guys? Your boy is back with the other boy, Matt.
The OneT.
OneT. So, a little bit of housekeeping, cleaning, whatever. It's not Tet Sports, obviously, but this is going to be my personal podcast. Tyler's still going to do Tet Sports with me when he can, if he can. Still hasn't told me anything. Shots fired. But this is going to be hard hit entertainment. This is always my goal of a parent thing, So I'm gonna do a podcast with whoever. It could be Matt every week, or when Matt can't do it, I'll have somebody random. Shit, I'll have Brandon do it with me or anybody. I don't care. We're gonna talk about whatever. If we happen to talk about sports, we're gonna talk about sports. If we happen to talk about entertainment and the fucking queen dying, and William's only gonna wait like another 10 years to fucking be king, then we're gonna talk about that. We want to talk about fucking how Betty White lived longer. Fuck it. We're gonna talk about how America's queen lived longer. We're gonna talk about anything, Obviously, most of it's gonna be sports because I'm a massive sports fan, so is Matt. So it's easy for us to talk about sports, but anything's gonna roll over. Obviously, we're gonna start it off with sports because that's what we're in. We're in football season. LSU just won Saturday. UL lost. The Saints lost. Mike Evans got suspended for a game. So we're gonna start it off with that. But my opinion on that whole situation, and I know you've probably seen it. I've seen it all over Twitter. Mike Evans loves to cheap shot.
Oh, does he? I mean, my God,
it's embarrassing if you're asking me, because they did the side by side, and Marshawn Lattimore's obviously turned in the 2017 incident when Jameis Winston was still the quarterback of the Bucs, and he pointed at him and pointed on the back of his head, and then Marshawn Lattimore wants to react, and then Mike Evans comes from in the middle of the field. This is happening on the sideline, in the middle of the field, and then cheap shots him from behind. This time, Mike Evans is walking off the field on the sideline, comes back into, and he said he threw the first punch at Lenny. The frame that we saw might have been cut.
That was
in the beginning of it. It wasn't it was, they were both going at it because, Tom was saying something and Marshawn Lattimore just went at him and he just talking and whatever. But they both got ejected, cool, but Mike Evans is getting a suspension, and everybody on Twitter, Saints fans, was like, oh, if Marshawn Lattimore gets suspended, we riot. You don't think they reviewed that with Mike Evans?
Yes, exactly.
So the decision would have came at the same time. So Marshawn Lattimore's not getting suspended.
And that's how did Brady not get any consequences from starting at all?
Correct. But, they were jawing. Everybody jaws at Brady. Yeah. Brady jaws at everybody. So I kind of get it. Like, CD was fucking going at him last year. Nothing happened. They jawed at each other. Nothing happened. Pushing, shoving, separation, and that's it. But Mike Evans comes in and just, nobody would have gotten flagged. Nobody would have gotten ejected. No. Nobody would have got suspended if Marshawn Lattimore and Leonard Fournette were just pushing at each other. Because that's exactly what happened last year.
Foul on Lattimore, and that would have been the end of it.
That would have been the end of it. And it would have been a 15-yard, cool, done. We still would have lost the game. That did not change the game at all because Marshawn Lattimore was shutting down Mike Evans. It literally just took it off the field.
Yeah.
It didn't change anything. Mike Evans wasn't getting anything done because Marshawn Lattimore was on him.
1 reception for 7 yards.
You take away Mike Evans and you take away Marshawn Lattimore. So there's nothing.
You canceled it out.
Yeah, there's nothing that would have changed in the game. We've played like shit. Offense needs to figure out what the hell's going on. Jameis Winston looked like he played for that team. Yeah. Again, but he did not look like,
don't throw the game away.
Right. He did very well last week controlling the game at the end of the game, and then just reverted to 2017 Jameis Winston.
31.
So it's disappointing, but on to
the Panthers.
Yeah, on to the next week and the next divisional opponent, and that's in Carolina. So then we got the Saints and the Seahawks and the Bengals back to back at home. The Bengals game is going to be pretty crazy. The Seahawks actually look pretty decent, which is wild. They play tonight.
They look, they look better than I thought they were.
Today's Monday. It's Monday Night Football. That's what I'm told. We got 2 games tonight. But they look good against Russell Wilson in the return last week. That was pretty shocking. Geno Smith looked better than Russell Wilson did, but
And then after this week, you got to call into question how much that head coach actually knows about situational football and how to control a game when you're in the red zone.
And Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are now on Monday Night Football, and I'm kind of at a crossroads and liking them or not.
Yeah.
Because last year, don't get me wrong, Louis Riddick, Brian Greasy, great. They were good.
Yeah.
But if you tell me you weren't watching the Manning cast last year, you're high. But this year it's a little bit more doable because it's actual commentary. It's actually people that are good. They were the number one Fox team.
A big name
and then they just
ESPN
shelled out money to go and get them.
Yep.
And that's what they were looking for. There were talks about freaking Eli and Peyton doing it, but or Pat, but Pat, who's now on College Game Day and SmackDown and a live show 5 days a week, dude is on everything.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't blame him, even if I probably would have turned that down, even if I'd rather College Game Day than Thursday night or Monday Night Football. But he's also killing it on College Game Day, unless he picks against LSU, then he's wrong. Because everybody except, the long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart, and neither did LSU, because he was the only one on game day to pick LSU. And he was right. And Lee Corso's losing it because he told him he was wrong on 6 picks, and he was right on 5 of those. So Herbie, forgetting David Pollock, he wasn't there when they made the picks. He might not have been there Saturday at all, but Lee, Pat, they all picked Mississippi State, and there was other videos of everybody on pregame shows and stuff. The Big Noon Kickoff show, everybody picked Mississippi State because of Mike Leach's air raid offense. Mike Leach's air raid offense it's never going to do well.
Not in the SEC.
Not in the SEC.
Not when you can control the line of scrimmage.
You have to establish a run to get over the top. That's what LSU did in 2019 so well. That's what Alabama did in 2020 so well. And that's what Georgia did last year so well. They ran the ball really well, established their dominance at the line of scrimmage, and then just air raided over the top. But if you don't have a run game, you're never going to have an air raid offense in the SEC. There's too talented a DBs.
They're too fast.
They're too fast. Linebackers can cover wide receivers. There's nothing you're going to be able to do. And did you see, speaking of linebackers, Harold Perkins all over the freaking field on Saturday? That dude needs to start immediately. But that's not me. That's up to Matt House. But I don't see how you don't start Harold Perkins. I mean, dude had a sack and a half, and
he's gonna be the Patrick Queen of the season.
Yeah, and I hope so. And BJ Ojolari looks like Caleb Von Chasson. I mean, coming off the edge, it's crazy wearing that number 18. I literally watched the replay and I was like, that looked identical to what Caleb Von did. That dude was all over the field. They were both all over the field, and
good comeback win.
100%. We were not looking great in the beginning, but Jaden Daniels looked more poised than he did, and he looked better. He looked like he did in the end of the Florida State game.
Yeah,
because he looked poised at the end of the Florida State game. It just took him too long to get there.
Yeah,
and then don't get me wrong, a win's a win, obviously, but nobody's looking at that Southern game because that's not. It was the first time they ever played. Great. It was a historic freaking day in Baton Rouge, historic year, whatever. Congrats to Southern and LSU for finally playing each other, but nobody's looking at that Southern game because it's not a.
We out-talented them on every aspect of the.
Correct. And, LSU for you diehard UL fans are they back to being the best team in the country or did you just get beat by Rice for no reason? I don't know. Love UL, but that was a low shot.
We should have won that one.
But it was. But 33-21 doesn't look great, but you get outscored in every quarter except the first. It's 7-3 was the first quarter, and then you never got the lead back.
Yep. Couldn't hold on. Couldn't hang on to the ball for long enough.
No. It's looking at these stats, we had 114 yards passing total and 61 yards rushing. So our total yards,
180 something yards.
Crap. Yeah, our total yards.
You can't win a game only getting 180 yards of offense.
Not at all. That's embarrassing. And we got blessed with 2 back-to-back home games to open the season, and then we we go to Rice and can't
Lay an
do
egg.
anything, you know. But LSU looked good. The Saints looked okay in the beginning. Defense looked great, and then
Jameis Winston threw us out of the game.
and they made a good point. We had Greg and Kevin Burkhardt commentating that game, Greg Olson, and they made a good point. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Greg, because obviously with the playing against the Saints a lot, who was going to keep their composure after that?
Oh, yeah.
And we sure did not.
That fight changed everything. Jameis Winston went into hoorah mode and felt like he had to go win it with his arm.
The Bucks treated that like they were a hockey team. They got so riled up, and we just shit the bed after that, because
the Ingram fumble, then the long completion to almost get back into it. Olave fumbles without even being touched. Jameis throws 3 interceptions, the last one being a pick 6.
Right. It's pretty embarrassing, but we'll get past it and on to the Panthers next week. I know you're a Cubs fan, but the Astros are
definitely go Astros.
Well, yeah, you're a Cubs fan first, but you're an Astros fan. But did I get that right? You're a Cubs fan first, but you're an Astros. Okay, making sure. We got Luis Garcia on the mound tonight in about an hour and a half, actually, and I think our magic number is 1 for the AL West. So if we win tonight, we win the division. We're going to the playoffs again. It'll be like 7 straight seasons with the AL West.
What's our record in the AL combined?
We're 96.
We're not first.
We are first.
Okay, I was like,
we're first in the AL, but we still got the rest of September and the first week of October until the regular season's over. So no telling what the Yankees will do at the end of the season. But
home run
currently,
judge.
right now, we are 7.5 games above the New York Yankees for first place. So we really have to shit the bed to give that up. The Toronto Blue Jays are next with 13 games behind, and the Rays are 13.5 behind. So I'm not worried about that because I can actually tell you, let's see. Well, what are we, 96 and 51? The schedule, wrong one. We only have literally 2 weeks left. Well, 3. 2.5. We've got this week. We've got 6 games this week. 4 games this week. Okay, so we play Tampa Bay for 3 games, Baltimore for 3 games,
6.
Arizona for 2, Tampa
8.
Bay for 3, and then Philly
11.
for 3.
14 games.
So 14 games left. So we're not going to lose it to the Blue Jays or the Rays.
We're coming in the first or second.
The Yankees are obviously right there behind us. We have to split our games, and they'd have to lose. I mean, they'd have to win all of them. So,
we play 500 ball.
Crazy worried about it. We have to play. Yeah, we have to play. We have to play 55%.
Yeah,
that's it. It's not that hard. We have to win 8 out of 14 games. That's all it is. So I'm not super worried about that. I believe we'll go into the playoffs with the number 1 seed in the American League and not have to play in opening weekend. Then we'll probably see the Rays or the Blue Jays or the Yankees, because right behind them, obviously we've already clinched a playoff berth. Nobody has beyond us in the American League. The Dodgers obviously already clinched home field throughout the playoffs, which sucks, but we'll repeat 2017. I'll take that. Hey, trash cans and all. But all right, we were just talking about it before. We're kind of moving on from sports now, but the Queen is like, that's pretty wild how insane of the lineage that is, and the line for the throne is going to be. And because Charles is already 73 years old, and he's only 15 years. Let's give him 90. Let's give him 90. So 15 years, then William's king. And in 15 years, George is what, like 4? He's going to be almost 20 years old. And then by the time William dies, he's going to have kids. George is gonna have kids,
Yep.
and then William dies, George becomes king,
George becomes king.
and then by the time it catches back up, we're never gonna have a reign like that again,
No.
ever. 70 years. It was because she lived so long
Yep.
and her parents died so early.
Very crazy.
Yeah.
God, 96.
Yeah, she was 96
96
years old. She was queen for 70 years.
That's
You know,
there'll never be a reign like
I
that
saw
again.
I saw something. It was like she was here before Coke was here. She was here before you know, baseball was a pastime.
Yeah.
She was there for baseball. It was just
When
like
baseball was America's pastime.
yeah. It it's insane to think that 70 years
know.
ago. I mean, just obviously, man, you're a little bit older than me, and I know your parents are older because you have
Yeah.
older siblings. So, like, when they were born,
Yeah.
she had already been queen.
Yeah, she was queen for almost as long as my parents were alive.
Exactly. Exactly.
Which is crazy.
That's insane to think about. Like,
my dad's 73.
yeah, she became queen when your dad was 3 years old.
old.
That's absolutely wild.
That's wild.
She became queen when her son was 3 years old.
Yeah.
So
God.
So your dad is the same age as the king
Yeah, he said
of England.
my dad is the same age as the king.
But
of England.
no, it's pretty wild. I was looking at the tree, the family tree. There's like a seventh cousin that'll become queen or king before Harry would. It's like you go down, and then it's like, oh, the married in, and you go to that first, and then you loop back up to Harry.
Yes, so many.
He's got like 14 people that need to die before he's king.
He's
So,
not hoping for it.
No, he's hoping that they all live healthy and happy lives, just like his grandmother just did. So, because he's all the way over here in California with his actress of a wife, and what I was going to say right before we started was, did you see her outfit? It wasn't. There was a picture, but it wasn't. It wasn't at the funeral. It got debunked, like it was a previous outing or something like that. But still, now that it's surfacing and we're all like, holy shit, she wore the same exact thing as Diana like 30 years ago. And
trying to make a message.
Oh, she was absolutely trying to send a message, but like it's crazy that I don't even know how to spell her name. If it's
Meghan Markle.
Yeah. Oh, it's an H, that's where. Duchess of Sussex.
That is crazy. God, yeah, we'll never see a reign like that. 70 years.
There was a picture, and it was comparison of Meghan Markle and Princess Diana. And I don't know. There it is. It's so crazy.
Wow.
Like shots fired, dude. I mean,
yes, I haven't even seen that picture. Shots really fired.
It's absolutely insane.
With the lapel and everything.
I know. iPhones suck when you turn them sideways. That is absolutely like shots fired, and I love it. I really love it because that's just what they still have to call her whatever she is, Duchess of Sussex. But it's hard not to believe that she got the same treatment as Diana did. But we also know that it's not the same dynamic between Harry and Meghan that there was with Charles and Diana, because obviously
the Queen never wanted her there in the first place.
Yeah, the Queen never wanted either one of them there in the first place, and Charles didn't even want Diana there. It was just because of the what do you call it? Her lineage, Diana's lineage, and it was up there in England and everything. So it was more of an arranged marriage, and he was cheating and all this other stuff. So, that's crazy though.
That is
just the fact that she had the balls to do that. But Hollywood, it's what you do. So there was something else, and I can't remember what it was.
With the Queen.
Yeah. And I closed out the page, but felt like I was gonna hiccup there. had to hold my breath. But yeah, a little bit more house cleaning. It probably will be Matt that you see most of the time, but Tyler, well, me and Tyler will be doing Ted Sports eventually. This is like probably the shortest podcast we'll ever do because we were very ill prepared. I spent half the afternoon trying to figure out how to make my camera from school stream live, and the program won't download on my Mac, so can't do it. That's why we're doing it with this shitty webcam on my Mac and this shitty mic, because if I could do it on my camera, I could connect my mixer with lapel mics. We wouldn't have to be leaning in all the time. They could relax. We wouldn't have to be sitting right here at the dining room table. So plus, whenever I moved from my apartment, I did not get anything set up again because it's very tight in here. I live with two of my friends now. It's a little different and harder to do, but we will figure it out and we will make it better for next time.
Definitely have more information.
Yeah, but oh, you know what? You know what we can talk about? I'm gonna just tell an army story, just because. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And I don't think you've ever. I don't know if I've ever told you this one, but this is about whenever we went to the Philippines. Did I ever tell you that story?
No.
Okay, perfect. So genuine reaction here. Okay, so I was in the army. Hopefully most of you know that, but I went to this thing called Pacific Pathways. I was stationed in Hawaii. For those of you that know me, that's why I have the islands tattooed on my freaking leg. And I went to this thing called Pacific Pathways, where we do alliance building training missions in Thailand and, Malaysia and India and Australia and the Philippines and all the Eastern Asian countries and, Australia and stuff like that. But they do that on a rotation every year. There's different units that go from different places, but Hawaii is the one where the aviation unit comes from, and I was there in aviation. So we were at port, and this is not OPSEC because it's public information. I've told this before to plenty of people, but this has nothing to do with the mission. So any of my Army buddies, fuck off. We were at port in Subic Bay, and we were staying there. And we were, had a little bit of leisure time, and we were waiting on the boat because the boat went from Hawaii to Okinawa for a port stop, then came to Thailand. We spent a month and a half in Thailand, then left Thailand and went to the Philippines. And so it's kind of like a back and forth. But we were waiting for it to come from Thailand and had to make one more stop. They gave them like 2 days on the shore at Okinawa or whatever it was. That was the only benefit to being on the boat, other than not having any time to do anything but the gym and Netflix, and it was shitty Wi-Fi. So I did not go on that, but I was in Subic Bay. We waited probably 7 days because we got there early, and we went. They gave us rules, and we're under something called GO1, which is General Order 1. Which typically means when you're on a mission, you can't have sex, you can't drink, you can't do this, you can't do that, whatever. So perfect. We broke all of those. Allegedly. We went to eat at Shakey's. Shakey's is a popular Italian. It's Olive Garden over there. Yeah. It's a more northern thing in the United States, but it's Shakey's is all over the place over there. In the Asian countries, we had it in Thailand and we had it in the Philippines, multiple locations in the Philippines. Every mall seemed like to have one, and TGI Fridays. They fucking love TGI Fridays. So failed in America, but Asia loved it. So we went to Shakey's, had a couple of beers, had a pizza or a pasta, whatever we got, a salad for the health nut that was with us. But then we decided to go to this little bar. It's called Liberty, ironically. It had a big Statue of Liberty on the top, like statue, not a blow up, like a statue.
A real statue.
We, as soon as the owner saw a bunch of white people with fades, he came up to us. He's a retired Marine, met his wife in the Philippines when he was there, came back, married her, opened a fucking bar. Like what what a life
Yeah,
to
the
live.
American dream.
Move out of America and open a business.
You know?
But so we went there, and they have this thing called I forget what the name of it was, but like they have like 70,000 fucking helmets hanging on the wall, different kind of football helmets, old army helmets, freaking gladiator helmets, like just prop helmets, but all over the wall, hanging up randomly. And they don't even ask you. They just say, "Hey, pick a helmet," and you're like, "What?" Like, "Oh, okay, that one, whatever."
Yeah.
So they put it on you. Then they start shaking your fucking head and banging fucking shot glasses on your fucking head, and they mix like 7 different things together, and you have to fucking take it. So that was stop one after Shakey's, and we're already like 2 beers deep at Shakey's. So we take like 4 of those
Jeez.
because we're like, hell yeah, let's do it again.
Shots to the head.
Literally shots to the head. But yeah, it gave you the massive headache. So we went to the little drugstore. I forget what it's like like the SM malls, super malls. They have random drugstores in there. I forget what they're called, but went get some Tylenol, just took some Tylenol and then kept going.
Yes,
went
sir.
to there's a little strip that they had right next to the mall. And I mean, there's like they love their American theme shit, especially for like Subic Bay used to be a naval station.
Okay.
It was a U.S. Navy
Navy.
port. So they had a massive station that's torn down now, but they love their American shit over there. So like even in Thailand and the Philippines, it was generally the same. Their strip was like a rock and roll bar, a rap bar, a fucking pop bar. Like it was themed music per bar.
Per bar.
So like we hopped all around everywhere. I mean, there was clubs, there was, just sit down bars, there was fucking everything. Then we ended up at the strip club. And so
Always the last stop.
no, this wasn't the last stop. That was the bad part. So there's 4 of us. I'm not supposed to be hanging out with any of these people, by the way, because they're all in charge of me technically. Can't do that in the Army. Not supposed to do that in the Army. So that's strike 1. We're drinking. That's strike 2. We go to a strip club. Probably strike 3. But I'm sitting across just, getting whatever. Not like that. But and this dude across from me, won't say his name, love him to death though. He was freaked out. He was getting rubbed up on. It was great. And I'm laughing at him, staring at him. He's like, "Stop fucking staring at me." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude." And so we finally like go to leave, and I'm talking to this one chick, and everybody else is gone, and they're like calling me and texting me, "You need to come fucking down here right now," whatever. So the other one had already hopped in a cab, the one that was getting, a little action, already hopped in a cab and went home. And we decided to go to the little club again. And we're sitting up top, and we finally one of them had already disappeared. We see him up there, so we're like hanging out, whatever, talking to these 2 chicks that were there together. And they sounded really American, but they weren't. They said, "No, we went over there for school, whatever." And it was so cool. They're from there, but they went over to California for school, which a lot of people do. So not surprising, whatever. Turns out they were sisters. And we lost the other one, not the girl, but we lost the other guy. So no idea where he is. We're looking all around the club, go back to the strip club, go back to each bar. We're like, nope, can't fucking find him. So we're like, fuck it. We took the girls back to the hotel. I wake up the next morning, go out to smoke a cigarette, smoking my cigarette. Dude walks around the corner into the parking garage. It had been like 7 hours. He did not go home.
Oh, wow.
He stayed out the whole time. We had a meeting. We weren't doing anything the next day, but we had a meeting at 8. It was 6:30. He was like, well, 6 to 7:30.
Holy shit.
He said, yeah, I got back to the hotel like 7:15, laid down for a second, and then went to the gas station, went to the store to get some cigarettes. What the fuck? Where did you go? He's like, I can't remember. And he's still in the same clothes. It's like, go change. Everybody saw you in that.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be hungover right now.
No.
So, yeah, we lost it, man, for 7 hours.
And he just strolls into the parking lot.
Right.
6:30 in the morning.
All right. You want to hear another funny one? This is in Thailand. This is actually even more wild. So those guys were in charge of us, but they weren't like, they're still, there's E1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 is the first one where you're an NCO, a non-commissioned officer. And we're all E3s and E4s. So they're technically in charge of us, but they're not in charge.
Yes, they're not like your real bosses.
Yeah, they're not our platoon sergeant. Our platoon sergeant was there though, in Thailand. We left Thailand, or we got to Thailand at the beginning of about the middle of January, about like the 12th or something like that. So we do our little port thing there, front end, go do our thing. Then we go back to the same spot to do the back end of port, which means reload the boat and send it to the Philippines. And it's supposed to take us 4 days, is what they planned for us to take 4 days. Then we're going to get commercial flights we're going to drive up to Bangkok on buses, get commercial flights out of Bangkok. So we're like, fucking 2 nights in Bangkok, let's fucking go.
Yes, let's
do this. We're all having a blast at port, just relaxing, doing our thing. We do it in like a day and a half. So they're like, all right, fuck you guys, you're getting on charter flights. There's already an empty charter flight. So we don't go to Bangkok. But instead, they say, you guys can have 1 night in a hotel in Pattaya. Pattaya is like the party city of that part of Thailand. Okay. So Pattaya City. You look it up, it's pretty crazy. There's something called Walking Street. It's bourbon. It's I want to say bourbon on steroids, but I don't think it compares to bourbon, but it's bourbon. But the only difference is with the strip clubs, it's bourbon on steroids. Okay. Because they don't have somebody out there with flyers. They have girls out there grabbing your junk.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And it's go-go clubs. It's not strip clubs. They're fully clothed until you pay them. So you have Russian go-go clubs. You have Filipino go-go clubs. You have Thailand go-go clubs. You actually have American girls. American go-go clubs. You have like every freaking ethnicity, Indian, like everything. I'm serious. It's fucking insane. And
God, the money they must make over there.
Oh, dude. So we go. This is the beginning of our trip. We've only been there for a month so far. It's the beginning of our trip. We're not supposed to be drinking. They let us have a beer or two in Thailand, but that's like supervised between everybody. The commander was like, hey, tonight you can have 2 beers each. Cool. So we had a beer, whatever. Chugged them so I can get a little buzz. And they sucked. The brandy, delicious. Beer, not so good. So we go they say you have a night, hey, get a room for yourself, get a room with somebody, whatever. Me and my buddy were like, fuck it. We're getting a 5-star hotel. It's $250 each for a night. $500 a night? Hell yeah. For 1 night. We're probably never gonna come back here again.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. So we had a little 5-star hotel action, double king bed. Fucking great. Massive hotel, spa in the hotel, like looked like a big freaking rainforest in that thing in the middle. And we were overlooking the pool and overlooking the street. So on the street at the entrance, like one of the entrances to the hotel, there's a mall, and then there's like 3 restaurants. And Benihana was one of those restaurants. So we go to Benihana. I'd never been to Benihana. We got crazy hibachi shit over here, but I'd never been to Benihana. So went to Benihana. They don't have Coke. They have Pepsi. So I'm disappointed already, but fuck it. Jack and Pepsi. So they bring us the Jack in a glass and Pepsi in a can. You pour it yourself. So discreet. We're thinking, cool, we're not going to get caught. So we have like 3 of those. And they're doubles. Yeah. So of course.
Obviously.
Doubles. So then our platoon sergeant, we're on WhatsApp, obviously, phone's easier than texting people, getting a new number and everything. You have the service, but paying for the text, not worth it. Just get WhatsApp. Texts me and says, what are you guys doing? Freaking out. This motherfucker saw us. We're in trouble. Whatever. This is where I knew. I was like, oh, this is what goes on these trips. This is where I found out. So I told him, eating dinner at Benihana, then may go back to the hotel. And he's like, platoon sergeant, 36-year-old man, goes, 2 kids, married, everything. He says, fuck that. Come meet me. Pin. And I'm like, fuck, I'm thinking this dude's at like a fun restaurant or something like that. Or like there's, ping pong shows and everything like that. And ping pong show. If you don't know what a ping pong show is, just look up Thailand ping pong show. Don't ask me questions. So there's also donkey shows. You can
Oh,
figure that one
Jesus
out.
Christ.
I'm thinking he's like at one of those things, whatever. No, it's one of the theme bars. It's a rock bar. So there's a band playing, and they're white, they're American, and they're singing like freaking Foo Fighters. And we're like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
This is awesome. And he's like, he's got a freaking big straw hat on, like a rice field hat, like, and he's got a beer in his hand, and he's fucking jamming. And I'm like, the fuck? It's like, what'd you want me to come meet? What'd you want us to come meet you here for? He goes, get a beer. And I'm like, okay. You don't have to tell me twice. So got a beer. They actually had Bud Light and Coors and all that shit there. So I got an Ultra, naturally. And then he said, no, fuck your light beer. Give me round. And he's like, oh, they've already done this like twice. Cause he just looked at the waiter and was like,
And they knew what he was talking
I didn't know what he was talking about. So we get pretty toasty there. Then we go to like 3 or 4 more places. Place called the Ice House. It's fucking like 20 degrees in there.
Oh wow.
It's fucking great.
I
I felt in heaven, right? After sleeping in a fucking building with like just fans.
Yeah.
And an AC all the way at the other end of it. And the like we're right by the freaking windows in the front.
Being in
horrible.
like barracks and all that with no AC.
Oh, horrible. But so we go to this place called, I'll never forget it. I remember exactly what it looks like too. It's called Sensations A Go Go.
Sensations A Go Go.
Perfect name. Perfect name. So I'm actually with the guy that I got the hotel room with, and I think I had told you one of the guys that I was with was his mom was from the Philippines.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's also another story. But we go in and we sit in the corner, and there's already a girl kind of standing there, probably the hottest girl in there, if I'm being honest. And my buddy looks Asian. He's half white, half Asian, but he looks full Asian. So he's sitting right here. Like there's a table, and the booth curves around.
Okay.
And then the table ends at me. He's sitting in an open booth, but on the, no table, but booth. Just like where you enter,
Yeah.
So the girl just starts dancing on his knee. She's trying to get some money, of course.
Yes, of course. She's doing a job.
She's doing her job. Starts dancing on his knee. And she just leans into him and said, You buy me drink. And she just keeps dancing. So he buys her a fucking drink. Of course you do.
Yes.
You buy her a drink.
Yeah, girls dancing on your knee, you buy a drink.
So buys her a drink. She drinks it. She asks for another one. He's like, Bruce, you ready to go? Everybody calls me Bruce because my last name's Broussard. So, Bruce, you ready to go? It's like, hell no, I ain't ready to go. I'm hanging out. We can't go anywhere by ourselves. Got to have battle buddy, So we get him another drink. I said, I got this one. I'll buy her the drink and you a drink. Enjoy yourself, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Mind you, me and this guy have had conversations. He has not had sex in like 5 years at this point. We've had conversations. And I'm like 23 and he's about to be 23 at this time. So like,
God, yeah.
He's like, he hadn't had it since he was like 17, 18. That was it. That was the last time. So he's told me this in confidence. I don't mention that shit, but you know what I'm trying to do that night. You goddamn right I'm getting you some, boy. So, mind you, our platoon sergeant's with us. And he knows what's happening, of course.
Yes, he does. He ain't stupid.
So, and the way this guy was, you can tell. Like he's shy. He's not very open. He's not very out there. He's definitely like me or you.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's very, very to himself. And that's and you get him in the right situation, he's fucking fun as shit. Like, I had a blast with him in the Philippines. We went up to his uncle's house. That's the story for next episode. But so they have the same drink. We each have our second drink. Girl, him, me. Platoon sergeant's right here. The girl, it was a sergeant from another unit.
Okay.
They knew each other from previous units. So they were hanging out. And they're right here. And he's dancing on. He's kind of dancing on her now, like starting to feel a
He's
little
starting to
loose.
loosen up.
And
The alcohol's
he
flowing a little bit.
says, my platoon sergeant sitting on my left. He says, he close out. I said, he goes, stay to me, and he's not paying attention. So like, okay, we're staying.
Yes, sir.
So I took that as like, hey,
I'll follow my orders.
Roger, I'm staying. So don't know what he's about to do. So they get their check, signs it, whatever. Gets up and goes, shit you not. Grabs his receipt and he goes, hey, how much to take home? And he's pointing across the table at him and her. So like, he's like, how much to take home? Shit you not. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And she answers the question to the girl, and the girl tells him, and he's like, oh, I only have half that. I said, give me your motherfucking card. There's an ATM across the street, buddy.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
He goes, Bruce. And I'm like,
don't act like you don't want this.
And he's bricked up at this point. I could tell you, I didn't even look, but I could tell. You know, he's just like, oh, damn. So motherfucker doesn't even hesitate. As soon as he says my name and I do this, fucking takes out his wallet, hands me his fucking Navy Federal Credit Union card, and I go across the street and I get him some fucking bot, some Thai bot. And I'm not going to say how much it was because it was a little much, but this dude did not go out. He did not spend his money. He had plenty of it, and we were getting paid more to be there. So we walked all the way back to the hotel. It's about 2 miles now. She went, changed, came back because they all in the same outfit at the club. So she goes in the back, changes, gives her the money while she's in the back, whatever. We go, and this is like for the night now. Like this is
you get it for the night,
for the whole night. So, God, I'm so glad he's never gonna watch this. Haven't said your name yet.
No one knows who you are, except you.
But and Cody, and I forget her name, and me. But and no, his name is not Cody. That's another person's name. But so we go all the way back to the hotel, about 2 miles, get up to the hotel room. We're on like the 18th floor at this fucking 5-star hotel in fucking downtown Pattaya in Thailand, southern coast of Thailand. And we get up to the hotel, and there's a 7-Eleven across the street, thankfully, because we walk in, I grab some shit. I grab my little portable charger, headphones, you know, just because I know I'm going to not be in the hotel room for a little bit.
Yeah.
Mind you, we got the 2-king bed room. And he comes out about 5 minutes later after I get all my shit. I'm sitting out on the balcony, just, you know, standing smoking a cigarette. Says, Bruce. He's embarrassed. He's like, Bruce, I don't have a condom. I said, motherfucker, you couldn't think about this when we weren't 18 floors up
at the 7-Eleven.
So we walk right past it too. So I go back down, go to the 7-Eleven, give me a pack of cigarettes, get him a box of condoms, give me a snack, give me a drink. Takes me like 30 minutes. Because I'm preparing myself. I was eventually going to go down there, but just didn't think it would have to be that immediate. Come back up. Mind you, this is my room. She's not a dumb girl, but like she had a dumb moment. And he did too, because he did not shut the bathroom door. So I walk in. Where's the bathroom in a hotel room? Right there. Door's not shut. Nefarious shit going on. She screams. He's like, ah! And I'm like, here's a box.
Here's the box. You sure you needed them?
But so I was outside. I shit you not. I don't know how. I guess it was because he was drunk. But this much pent up aggression. It took him an hour and 30 minutes.
Holy shit.
And I was sitting on the fucking balcony at the hotel room for an hour and 30 minutes.
5 years worth.
It either took him that long because he was drunk or he just had like 7 rounds in him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck. But like,
God bless him.
I was, oh my goodness.
I think I watched like 30 minutes.
I think I watched the movie. Like, I think I finally got to it and just watched like 50 minutes of a movie. Because I was thinking like 30, 45 minutes, and this motherfucker fucking come out, tell me she's passed out, and I can go to sleep. No. So after this dumbass motherfucker comes out, they're dressed, and he's walking her back to the club. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Go to bed. Wait till the
Go
morning.
to sleep, bro. It's like 4 a.m. The fuck? So yeah. He was like, don't worry about it. I blend in. And I was like, because I would have had to walk with him.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't worry about it. I blend in. And I was like, thank God. Because if you were white, I was not letting you go by yourself. But like you blend into everybody here, so you're probably not gonna get murdered.
Yeah. No,
but like
yeah.
if you look like me, you would have probably had some nefarious shit happening to you while you were walking down the street with a girl that does look like you.
Yes.
So
definitely.
Yeah, thankfully you don't look like me, buddy. In Asia, at least. But yeah. And
Jesus Christ, an hour and a half.
the last story. Fuck it, I got plenty more. We'll do another one. So same guy. Parents met. His dad was in the Marines. Surprise. Dad was in the Marines, married a woman that was from the Philippines when he was over there. So his mom was from an island off of the coast of the main island. I forget what the name of the main island was, but and his dad was from Iowa. And so what happened? She moved to Iowa. But he had not been to the Philippines since he was like 4.
Damn.
So this was his first time. Like he showed me his passport that he had back then, and it was pretty funny. But because obviously we had to get official passports and all that, so he had to bring his old one in just because it was still there. It was still around. I had never had one, so I didn't have to do any of that. But they had to get the pretty much just make him a new passport and dispose of that one because you're not supposed to have two. But so his uncles actually lived 20 minutes from where we were staying. Okay. First story, same place. Yeah, they live like up on the hill in one of the fucking houses. His great grandmother's house was up there, and his it's not really his uncle, it's like his first cousin, but all cousins, whatever. Yeah. It's what you say. Cousin, uncle, whatever, So they came pick us up, and we had a blast. They cooked for us, and then they're like, "We out of alcohol," and I'm like, "Huh? That sucks. I'm not even drunk." Brandy was delicious, but it didn't get you that drunk. It's light brandy. You had to go to like a special store to get the real shit. But so they were like, "We're gonna go get more. You guys want to come?" And we're like, "Yeah." Hell yeah, I want to pick what we're fucking getting now. Yeah, that shit sucks. Like, it's not getting me drunk. It tastes delicious. I want to pick what I'm drinking. Yeah, I could sip on that shit for days, but that shit ain't getting me nowhere. Yeah. Like, if I'm gonna come and be able to drink, I want to drink. Yeah, I want to. So we get a bottle of Jack, like a gallon of Jack, and I had about 2 drinks out of it. It was gone. I didn't, or nobody else drank. It was just him. It was just the same guy from the previous story and same spot from the first story. It was just him. He drank all of it. Couldn't even open his eyes. He was like in the chair, like I mean, when I tell you this dude got absolutely plastered. And we're still eating. Like this dude, like they won't very similar to Southern culture. Yeah. You're gonna eat another plate. I didn't ask. It may take you 3 hours, but you're gonna finish it. Yeah. And I didn't ask you if you wanted it, but that's just a respect thing to them. Yeah. They cook a lot. You want you to eat a lot. Yeah. Same thing down here. Obviously, people are a little bit more respectful about it down here. Hey, don't serve yourself if you don't want to eat. We love leftovers because half the shit we do tastes better when it's left over. Yes. But that's why we cook it. Not over there. It's a bunch of noodles. It's a bunch of it's a bunch of rice too, but it's sticky rice and it's seafood. Seafood, obviously, chicken and sausage gumbo. Great. Day after. Seafood, not so much. So same thing with fried seafood. You can't, whatever. But fish ain't the same as the day of the day after.
Something fried always better that day.
So they want you to eat it all now because it's a lot of seafood, it's a lot of clams, it's a lot of shrimp, it's a lot of this,
mussels.
and it's a lot of different stuff. And we're still eating. It's like 11:30, but we're still eating. We started eating at like 7.
Jesus.
But they don't care. They just want you to eat. So this is like my 4th plate at this point. Thankfully, I didn't drink too much. He has a full plate in front of him from like 3 hours before that he never touched because he was hammered. And they want to sing karaoke and they want to do this and they want to do that. And all of a sudden they're trying to hook me up with one of their nieces. And I'm like, they're like, she's nurse. And I'm like,
great.
Awesome.
Happy for her.
Better at the end, she was hot. Unfortunately. At the end of the night, she was working. God damn. But so yeah, this dude is absolutely plastered. And I have to get him back to the hotel. Like they're gonna drive us, but like I have to get him upstairs.
Yeah, upstairs.
Mind you, there's people like watching for us because we're not. There's like CID, which is the Criminal Investigative Division, and the Army CID. It's the FBI for the Army. Like they send people that look like me right now to these things, deployments, training exercises in different countries, whatever. Wherever you're supposed to be on general order 1, not drinking, not having sex, doing all this stuff, they send these people to those places and they know where you're staying.
They blend
because we have to report it. They know where we're staying. They blend in. So they see you and they'll report you. They don't ever talk to you, but they'll report you. Hey, this person and this person. Picture. They'll go ask the freaking hotel for security camera footage if they have to. Like they will do that. So I have to freaking balance this guy being shit hammered and worrying about getting back into the hotel that we're staying at without anybody fucking knowing.
Jesus.
And I'll show you the video in a little bit. I'm not going to, because it has his face in it. I'm not going to show anybody, but I'll show you the video in a minute. He's fucking done.
Yeah.
Like I have no idea what I'm going to do.
Carry him over your shoulder.
I have no idea what I'm going to do. So his uncle goes, Griff, you want to go out? And I'm like, fuck yeah. I don't have shit to do tomorrow. Yeah. Fuck yeah. I got to be up at 8.
Yeah.
I get on with fucking fun. Yeah. It's only like 11:30. So 2 hours? Hell yeah, let's do it. So he's like, leave him here, sleep off. And I'm like, and we'll go out. I said, okay. So his other cousin worked at TGI Fridays as a waiter. So he's like, we're gonna go wait for him and then we'll go. So they were having a meeting at work. That's why they were there so late, whatever. So we're standing there for like 45 minutes and I'm like, I'm gonna deuce out, big dog. Like, I'm not staying here for another 45 minutes. Wait till 12:30, 12:45 to go out. Like, I'm like, that's fucking dumb. He's like, yeah, we stay open later. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, I want to go. I was hoping to be home in one day. Like,
I want to go out right now.
He said, okay, just get, they have these little trucks. It looks like little mini buses, like shorter to the ground, lower to the ground. And it's like public transportation, essentially. You hop in, you pay to do like 2 baht, which is like 80 cents. And you just fucking ride wherever you need to go. And they'll just drive you wherever. And he's like, hop in this one, get off, wait for a yellow. They all know this shit. And I'm like, he's like, hop in this red one, wait till you get to this stop, third stop, hop in the yellow one, and bring you to the house. He was right. I got off at the third stop, waited for the yellow one, about 2 minutes, smoked me a cigarette while I was waiting on the yellow one, hopped in the yellow one, brought me to the house. I was like, damn.
Nice.
But it's like a New Yorker with a fucking Subways.
Yeah.
Hey, you hop on the third, then they know exactly. You get off at the 4th stop and you're at Times Square. Like, same thing. Hop out the red one, get in the yellow one, bring it to the house. Like, it's just because there's different ones that go up and down and everything like that. And there's only certain ones that go to certain stops. So they all know them because you don't want to get in the yellow one that goes all the way down the street. So they don't want to have 2 yellow ones going to the same place. Because most people in those countries, they stay around their area because of that, because they don't have regular transport. And not everybody has a car. Yeah. Like only like 30% of them have cars. So get back there. The guy with the car is taking a nap. I kind of like tap him and he's like, hey, you ready? And I'm like, yeah. We didn't even go anywhere. And he's like, why not? And I was like, we waited at TGI Fridays for 50 minutes. I wasn't going nowhere, but they still went out. So I woke the dude up that was shit hammered and still shit hammered, but functioning shit hammered. So thankfully, he just kind of stumbled into the hotel a little bit, not too much. So I don't think anything was gonna happen. And then thankfully it didn't. But
Jesus.
yeah, that's a fun. It's a fun over there. It was
Like a whole handful of
oh dude,
Jesus.
like I'm telling you, I had like 2 doubles. So like take out 7 ounces of the fucking handle, and as he had the rest. Like absolutely insane how much alcohol he drank. But
God.
like I didn't know what to do. I froze in the moment. I was like, I don't know what to do. And then guess what? The potential for more drinking came up and I didn't care.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a
Jeez.
had a fun trip to
Sometimes I wish I'd
Eastern
have been
Asia.
just so I could have experienced those things.
See, and that's one thing that everybody tells me, like, oh, you've heard me say, like, Hawaii sucked. And don't get me wrong. It was beautiful and I enjoyed it from time to time. But you go spend 18 goddamn dollars on a freaking pack of cigarettes and a Coke, or $8 on a gallon of milk. Or right now, gas is below $3 finally. It's still $6.50 over there.
Jeez.
So like everything's imported, bro. You can't, it ain't normal living.
No.
And they pay you 150 extra bucks a month for cost of living allowance. Kiss
Wow.
my ass.
Yeah, that's not enough.
Kiss my ass. I will turn this into a freaking military hate podcast. I don't care. Like, I do not like what they're doing right now. And people got to call me in the middle of the podcast. But we're about to wrap it up, so I'll call them back. Yeah, I don't like some of the shit they're doing right now, and 150 bucks a month for a single person in Hawaii just because you live in the barracks and have freaking dining facility food to eat doesn't mean it's enough.
No,
But
it's definitely not enough.
But I'm thankful for the experience because I lived in Hawaii for 3 years. I got to go to the Philippines. I got to go to Thailand, and got to spend a few hours in a Tokyo airport. I mean, that's crazy enough in itself. But I had a blast. But yeah, like you said, that was probably my favorite thing. Like the experiences of all the different stuff that I got to do. That's probably my favorite thing about it. And my favorite part of the army was when my sister came visit me in Hawaii. But that's a different story. But well, I think we've been on for like 40, 50 minutes almost.
Yeah.
Surprised we made it that last that long. After the 20 minutes, we stalled out, and then I said, fuck it, army stories. Yeah, I got those for days. So that'll be a fun for next episode, figuring out which one I'm gonna do. Well, appreciate you for joining me. And
Thanks for having me, dude.
I do appreciate you just kind of not stepping in for Tyler, but doing a different podcast.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Doing a different podcast with
Thank y'all for listening.
Yeah, we thank you. Follow us on Twitter. I'm gonna make sure I figure out what it is. I am in the process of making a Instagram for us. It's at Hardhead Media on Twitter, and it's Hardhead Media on YouTube. So go find us, and you'll see everything there. And we will be on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, anywhere you find or stream your podcast. Love you guys, and see you next week.
Thank y'all.